It's been years. But the events are still etched in my memory. Lost worlds, frozen in time. New discoveries, waiting behind every door. Across every chasm. I didn't know then the path this adventure would send me on. But it lit a fire that still burns. I need to see more. I need to go further. To uncover the secrets of Atlantis. Some legends are destined to be retold. Incredible. In the Andes, how is this even possible? Decoration or spare part? That should do it. Shortcut. This mechanism looks like the waterfall regulator, but clearly it's not working.
Been halfway across the continent looking for you. Hard woman to track down.
Well, you found me.
Ms. Croft, I hear when it comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire. This isn't isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. This is a puzzle, buried in centuries of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it. There's a reason I can only trust you with this.
Gotta say, you captured your good side.
You're assuming I've got a bad side. It's been years. But the events are still etched in my memory. Lost worlds, frozen in time. New discoveries, waiting behind every door. Across every chasm. I didn't know then the path this adventure would send me on. But it lit a fire that still burns. I need to see more. I need to go further. To uncover the secrets of Atlantis. Some legends are destined to be retold.
Duck, jump over the log, use your grapple, jump over a climb, you fall into the river, then things happen. You close the door behind, you think you are safe, but then boom, T-Rex bursts out of it.
It's a roller coaster.
When you're in Peru, the first enemy that you will encounter is a wolf. So that really helps teach you a couple of different things about the game. Not all of the enemies you're going to fight are humans. You're going to fight animals. Animals have different behavior that you have to get used to it. You have to learn how their tactics work, how they move around the combat, and how do you position yourself in order to fight it.
For the wolves, we got some kind of pack behavior.
You know, don't play into their game. You can do the dance with them, but don't play too close to what they want to do. There was a bunch of wolves, and I see just two in my field of view. You probably are in more danger than you think, because they're around you.
A singular wolf isn't a very serious threat for an experienced adventurer like Lara. But they are dangerous in packs, and you may get overwhelmed.
Of course, the first time you fight the wolves will be, a little bit toned down, so you get the hang of it. But really, the future fights with the wolves really train you one thing in particular: move or die.
Different types of animals will bring different types of challenges. While one wolf can be challenging for you to do it, a single bat wouldn't. So when the swarm of bats come over, that is a different type of enemy that you fight.
Just bam, 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 bam. And you feel like you hit some of them, but then you don't, and then they come at you more, and it just...
It's for a new player, and one that has only encountered a given enemy type, there may be a lot of chaos. But I believe that chaos is just a pattern that is yet undiscovered.
You really need to use the space, you need to always play on the move. You cannot tank it. You cannot just stay on the spot and shoot. I mean, it works for a short time, and then you die.
You may feel safe when you enter an open space, But then you hear a roar of a bear which is charging at you at full speed, and then you realize why there's so much space, right?
Fighting a bear in a small corridor won't feel really nice. Like a bear demands a lot of space, otherwise it will look weird.
As soon as you saw it, and as soon as it starts towards you, you're like, oh my god, I have to go. I have to run now. Oh, I'm supposed to kill this thing too?
The bear is clearly still going to be a bear fight, but the type of bear you're fighting is one that actually theoretically have existed in the region that you're in, just in an older time in history.
I don't want to spread rumors, but last time I checked, the bear could pull you off a ledge and drop you to the ground when you were trying to escape it, so climbing is not necessarily the safe option. It may even jump right behind you as well, so listen, I'm just the arena guy.
Everyone is kinda most excited about the raptors. They don't even remember what they exactly doing in the original games. They are mostly excited because they are dinosaurs, right?
Raptor is a really good showcase of how you can make a creature encounter be fun, how you can give it personality.
We really wanted to push that overall kind of vibrant feel, right? Almost like a coral snake. When you see color, that's danger. I see that thing, it's bright red, and it's really dangerous.
And they go berserk. If you fight a bunch of them and then only one left, we have this thing that basically makes the last of the raptors more aggressive. It really shows like how special you can get something like a creature to behave versus just fighting a bunch of humans.
It's tense because you're fighting them, but it's also rewarding when you get the upper hand. When like a raptor is like leaping towards you and you're like dodging out of the way and you see them like stumbling down, and also like the relief of when you finish the encounter, like you survived.
T-Rex was definitely a big challenge for us. The way we approached it, and this I don't want to spoil what we did exactly, I want the players to discover it for themselves. When we had a team for Peru, we also had specific team for just the T-Rex encounter to cover all of its, impact.
You're surprised and terrified after every sequence, every second of this really insane boss fight. It's a roller coaster that you're not driving.
There is something about that moment as a kid, teenager, and a giant T-Rex comes out of a poorly lit environment and it just starts chasing you and you go like, oh my god, what is gonna happen?
I've never had to fight a bear in real life or a T-Rex. It's exciting, right? Like I get to go and fight a T-Rex. How many people get to go and fight a T-Rex on a Tuesday? It's a great thing. It's a great privilege as an actor. Do you want my T-Rex impression? I'm doing.
So the T-Rex is probably one of the biggest departures from the way it was originally expressed in TR96 and even Tomb Raider Anniversary. It went from a standard boss fight type of scenario into something that's much more of like an action set piece moment. And it just became clear that in order to kind of do this the way that probably even the devs back in the day wanted to do it, we had to kind of expand the scope.
We had so much fun bringing the old T-Rex of TR to life. We tried to push the fidelity of our game models as far as we possibly could. I think we landed on something that I personally have not really seen in a video game. So we're really, really excited for players to get in and run from the T-Rex.
It's the very beginning of her journey. Almost everything what Lara do, she succeed. But that changes, and after Peru, basically nothing goes according to the plan.
What does it take to outsmart what's hunting you? Put your skills to the test in Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis pre-order today.
Fears.
Brave.
Heroine.
Flexible.
Athlete.
Explorer.
Adventure.
Adventurer.
Adventurer.
Legend.
Badass.
Icon.
Iconic.
Unapologetic. That's the word. She's unapologetic. I think that my Lara gets to be unapologetic because of all of the versions of Lara that have come before, that have led up to this moment in time, with Legacy of Atlantis and then Catalyst. Hi guys, I'm Alex Fulton Regan. I'm playing Lara Croft in Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and Tomb Raider Catalyst.
Lara Croft is somebody who could live a life of luxury if she decided to, but she has instead dedicated herself to finding truth. And as a result, she marshals those resources to do things that, you and I probably wouldn't have the ability to do, like fling herself into far-off locations to find things that the world doesn't believe to exist. But at the core of it, she's an adventurer.
She is elegant, strong, confident. She walks into a room knowing that she has a right to be there.
There's that foundation of what makes Lara Lara, and it's the passion for uncovering the unknown and just the sense of wonder and discovery and thirst for adventure and like that nerdiness about culture and archaeology.
Lara is a living, breathing woman. She has a very tragic past with lots of privilege, yes, but there's lots of tragedy and trauma there as well. She is very, very strong. She is very, very capable.
Now, in Legacy of Atlantis, you get to see a fully formed Lara. She has become the Tomb Raider.
Even like her quippiness, which maybe at first in the reboot trilogy, you didn't see that as much, right? But you did see her go from, I'm not that kind of Croft, to you don't know how far I've come within one game to the next.
There is no insecurity. Now, she may at times question herself, but that's very different to feeling insecure. So I really wanted to bring that confidence to Lara. Her intellect, she's incredibly smart.
Toby Gard was the one who actually was ahead of his times. And he knew that female players, they are there. And they want to identify themselves with powerful, strong females. Why not make an awesome, determined, and powerful archaeologist a female? She was the first, actually. She was exceptional.
Legacy of Atlantis was our ambition to remake the very first Tomb Raider. And we wanted players to have a way back into, especially players who weren't there for the originals. We wanted it to be a treasure box so that when fans got the product, they felt like it's what they've been waiting for, and it celebrates them and their fandom and love of the Tomb Raider franchise.
So when it comes to Lara specifically, our franchise art director, Brennick Adams, and our franchise character modeler, Cam Yu, were basically the ground zero when it came to this new version of Lara. Nobody knows this character more than they do.
We just kind of let her breathe for a while in the engine and in cutscenes and cinematics and combat. And then we just make iterations kind of as we go until we get to a point where enough people are like, that's it. That's her. That's Lara. And that's when the magic happens.
Casting someone to be Lara Croft is a very difficult thing to do. It is the voice of a character that represents a generation. It has been portrayed by incredible women over the years. There is a lot about Lara, a lot about Tomb Raider that isn't overtly explicit. So finding a new voice for new games is something that took a lot of time. Ultimately, I think Alex gets it right just in the nuance of her performance. It's in the microtones. It's in the little nuances of how she says something and gets that personality from Lara that toes that line between being a strong personality but still being very likable.
I couldn't imagine a better person to perform Lara Croft. Like extremely intelligent and witty and smart. And she has this charisma of Lara Croft, and she's straightforward.
We're blessed to have her.
She nails it. I'm just going to call it now. She is going to be one of the Laras for legend. Like she will become one of the greats in the line of Laras.
There's been a large number of fans that like the old school Lara, that like the old school Tomb Raider games, that even though they played the Survivor, they were like, hey, we are kind of missing a couple of things from the other games. Wouldn't it be cool now that we have all of these tools, now that we have a lot more understanding of how to make games for a newer generation, if we took a look at the older games and see, like, do they still make sense? Would it make sense for us to take a stab at reimagining them, preserving what was good about the original game, but kind of looking it through the same lenses from what we learned from, like, the Survivor trilogy?
We've spent a lot of time reading comments and reviews for almost every Tomb Raider game, to be honest, because we wanted to make sure that we're making the game for the fans, and we couldn't do that without knowing what they need, what they like, what they loved the most about all of the previous games.
It became clear that everything is actually a much more exciting jumping on point if people have a chance to go back and play the adventure that made Lara famous in the first place. This story deserves to exist because it's going to help create the foundational layer that all of Tomb Raider going forward is going to be built on.
It's a culmination of everybody's passion and 30 years of history. And it's not even the end of the road, you know? She's just getting started.
Lara Croft actually was my first female character that I knew, and I have never thought I could play a female character ever.
I grew up playing all the classic Tomb Raider games all the way to the Underworld. And I remember getting some of them on my birthday. And later I was like myself going to the shop and just asking my dad, Dad, can I have that?
I've been a fan since I was 12 when the first games came out. And Tomb Raider was the first time that I saw myself reflected. I do have photos of myself when I was like 12 or 13 dressed as her, including one pretending to hang from a chandelier at the house of the kids I was babysitting. Yeah.
I'm here just because of the Tomb Raider, because when I was the little kid, I get into my hands the Tomb Raider level editor, so the tool that helps you to create your own Tomb Raiders. And from that time, I just started to create games, and now I'm here working the Tomb Raider, the original. It really happens that you really started to do these Tomb Raiders in your little room, in your house. And now you are working on one, the official one.
I went to my dad and I asked him, what do I have to do to be as smart as Lara? And he was like, oh, you must have good grades at school. Okay. So I studied history, art history. I wanted to be as smart as she was. Like, basically, she was a really good role model for me.
I feel a massive sense of responsibility to be stepping into Lara's shoes, to see Lara Croft, Alex Walton Regan on the call sheet every day, you know, with a number 1 beside it. So like 1, Lara Croft, Alex Walton Regan. I mean, it's the biggest thing I've done in my career as an actor. I think for many actors, it would be the biggest thing they ever get to do, you know? Whether it's Crystal, Flying Wild Hog, or Amazon, they're passionate about the project. And that's a really cool thing to feel as an actor. They want it to be as much of a success as I do.
The thing that really struck me personally with the Hogs is they are very good at being honest about what's on screen.
I really saw like a sympathetic studio in how they develop and the things that they hold valuable. We saw a lot of ourselves in them.
Hungry, open, want to just get in and get ready to work. Like, that is a recipe for success.
It was always easy to communicate with them, which is funny to say because like they speak Polish, I speak Portuguese. We are talking in English, so none of us are speaking the same language, but somehow like there is that understanding of it. What was important for a Tomb Raider game, and they looked at like what we've done prior to them joining. It all felt very natural.
Reimagination is not a goal for us. It's a process. The goal is to create this game once again and in a way that it will generate at least the same amount of emotions as the very first Tomb Raider. That's the goal.
But I also kind of want to recreate what I was also feeling when I played these games. And I remember I was watching that as a little kid and I was like, wow, I don't know who is she, but she's so cool.
And now to have like that, she shaped me and now I get to help shape her, is something that I've taken very seriously the entire time I've worked at Crystal.
I still need to pinch myself sometimes.
I really still can't believe that this is happening.
This is beyond what I've ever imagined.
I want them to play the new Tomb Raider and go, oh my God, this is brilliant. We love it. It's bringing us so much joy and adventure and excitement, you know? It's a respite from the difficulties of the world outside my front door. That's what I want. I want them to completely fall in love with the franchise all over again.
Legacy of Atlantis is a love letter to fans.
Love letter to the fans.
Modern era love letter.
A love letter.
A love letter.
I have one wish. I'm not sure I can see it fulfilled, but It's to be in every room as you fire up the game for the first time. I've played the game now for a couple of years straight, and I'm not surprised by anything in it anymore. But I would be so intrigued to see all of the surprise and the look of wonderment on your faces as you play the game. I think that would be my single biggest wish.
So what draws you to Lara's story? Experience it for yourself and pre-order Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis today.